Coming up in the news, government reiterates commitment to creating new regions in addition to existing 10.
Illegal miners in Upper Daintra adhere to directive to stop operations.
A very good evening and thank you so much for joining us. This is News Hour. We are live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Akmene Avo Ajaja.
And I am Micheline Taka. Thanks for joining us. The President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, has reiterated his administration's preparedness to create new regions in addition to the 10 existing ones in the country.
This, he said, will facilitate effective administration of state affairs. He said this as part of his tour of the Bono Ahafo region after the launch of the Planting for Food and Jobs campaign.
The president, after launching the Planting for Food and Jobs program, stayed on in the region to express his gratitude to the chiefs and people of the region for the immense support accorded him during the elections. The president visited the Ahafo mines of Newmont Ghana Limited, where he was conducted round by officials on the operations of site. The Atrensua Senior High School was the next place he visited. Here, he addressed a mini debate of final year students and the chiefs and people of Atrensua. President Akufo-Addo thanked the people for giving him the mandate to steer the affairs of the country. He emphasized that the free SHS policy will be operational this September. In response to an appeal from the school's management, the president promised to get the Education Ministry to look into concerns over the school's library, ICT laboratory and dormitories, and the rehabilitation of their science laboratory and a bus for the school.
Science and technology, STEM education, and no teaching ideas say yenina de ahoden ni adwen ba ho because I know never matumi amanya mfaso or ya disua ho. It's a rehabilitation of the science lab no there. It's going to be my personal project. I'm going to make sure that it takes place.
The Omanhin of Atrensua traditional area, Ajiudin Edu Jimfi Ampim, urged the president to provide the Ahafo area with a university, for which a land has already been provided. He also said the Busumkesi Forest Reserve in the area is under siege from illegal loggers and called for action to remedy the situation.
We are Eura and Apa. Eura Amangwan. Yes, one way deputy managing director, Ghana Provincial Bank, and your school Ketwa, University Epata.
In response, the Bono Ahafo Regional Minister Kweku Asuma Treme announced the formation of a task force consisting of police and military to protect forest in the region. He said a continuous protection of the forest is crucial since it will have an effect on rainfall pattern, which is needed to make agriculture successful.
While on the thank you tour in the Bono Ahafo region, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, also visited the palaces of both Sunyani Mahene and that of Doma Ahinkro. He also addressed a rally at Doma where he promised to implement his one district, one factory policy to the fullest for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
On day 2 of his visit, the president visited the palace of the Sunyani Manhene. He thanked Nananum for the support and prayers for him and asked them for more support in his government. The fight against illegal mining was again reiterated, where the president called for all hands approach to end the menace. Touching on his promises like the one district, one factory and one village, one dam, President Akufo-Addo said these projects are doable and will surely deliver on his promises.
And I'm saying no there. Nana. I can't be as a be a organ here. Se pass a person boy that to buy illegal mining. Say issue, say assassin. as is saying, na ye crado say, ye baby trasso. Then you fall like one of the Yababi one idea, no, Ghana will be giant by it. Sounds soon as you see a bomb of me, in each ammonia, and what you see a air. As a gallant said, we and set up home by Uncle see a baby jaya. Ebia, the head of a mound, not say Ghana. It's with that say. Some soon one or two. Said the air, I had some funny and cosso, a bit washing and crying, it was a papa.
The Omanhin of Sunyain traditional area, Nana Busuma Aso Nkrari, urged the president to help provide a dam for the waterworks on the Tano River to prevent a recurrence of the water shortage that hit the Sunyain municipality earlier this year. He also called for the resumption of works on the Ring Road project and the Sunyain New Doma roads. At Doma Ahinkro, the president paid a courtesy call on the Omanhin of Doma, Osajifo Ajimambidu, at his palace, where he was accompanied by some of his ministers, including the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, Ignatius Bafo Ewa, the Minister for Health, Kweku Ajimamenu, and the Bunahafo Regional Minister, Kweku Asuma Treme. At a gathering, the Domahin Osajifo Ajimambidu commended the president for his one district, one factory policy and called for his district to be included in the first batch of 51 districts to benefit from the policy. The Omanhin also applauded the president for his recent meeting with 3 former heads of state. Later, a thank you rally was held at the Presbyterian Park in Doma. The Minister of Health, Kweku Ajimamenu, who is also the MP for Doma, made some appeals to government. Among them was the need to reduce taxes on inputs for the poultry industry, reactivation of a project to construct a research facility for the poultry industry abandoned since 1998. President Akufo-Addo thanked the people of Doma for giving the NPP all the 3 seats in the Doma area and called for their support and prayers for him to be able to create wealth for the people. The president wrapped up his thank you tour by addressing a rally at the old station in Sunyain.
The President, Nana Akufo-Addo, has encouraged NGOs and international donors to roll out policies and programs that will help developing countries to be independent rather than rely on aid and handouts. Speaking at the 4th conference of the District 9102 of the Rotary International in Accra, the President said developing countries will be better served if trade is replaced with aid.
The Rotary Club International brings a global network of volunteers who dedicate time and talents to tackle the world's most pressing humanitarian challenges. Rotary connects about 1.2 million members from more than 200 countries and geographical locations. The club has carved a niche for itself as one non-governmental organization which has been at the forefront of solving problems in the areas of health, water and sanitation, disease prevention, maternal and child health, peace and conflict prevention, among others. The club in 1985 launched its flagship program, Polio Plus, and this has helped to reduce cases of poliomyelitis or polio from 350,000 cases to the current 75,000 cases globally. Ghana has no case of polio for the past 9 years due to the activities of Rotary in the country. Rotarians in the country are also carrying out borehole projects in rural areas and some parts of the cities where potable water is not accessible. The Rotary International District Conference, which is currently held in the country, is bringing together Rotarians from 4 countries including Niger, Benin, Togo and Ghana. The aim is to introduce and prepare new executives of the club for their tasks. This is the 4th of such conference when the club was further divided into districts in the West African sub-region. The president, Nana Akufo-Addo, lauded Rotary for their good work but called on Rotarians to support government policies for the benefit of the citizenry.
I do not want us to continue to be unduly reliant on long-term aid projects. I want all such projects to have clear-cut exit strategies. It is not enough to get help to be able to feed your family. The help must be so structured as to enable you strike out and be able to lead an independent life. I urge you to take a good look at our One District, One Factory program. It is a program in which private sector participation is essential. Come and join us make a success of it. You have a lot of people with good business acumen and experience amongst your ranks.
The First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Kufuado, was inducted as Fellow of the Paul Harris Club, which is affiliated to Rotary Club International.
The 3-week ultimatum by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for all illegal mining operations to come to a stop has elapsed. GBC24 has been visiting some of the mining sites within Upper Dentra East and West in the Central region to ascertain whether the directive is being complied with.
The University of Mines and Technology at Takwa, the Minerals Commission, together with the Kwame Amonu Enterprise, a Donquanofin-based mining company, have been offering practical training for students studying mining engineering. The program, according to Professor Peter Aronja Eshon, has been helpful to the students as it crucially fills a void on the university's academic curricula. The 2017 batch of final year students were taken through the various stages of mining, including land preparation, digging, mixing water with soil, extracting gold ore, and land reclamation. The CEO of the mining site, Mr. Kwame Amunu, urged other small-scale miners to follow the right procedures in mining.
As I see in a small-scale mining land, legal license.
This is a small-scale mining site with a license. It is also my farmland. I always reclaim the land after mining because I intend to grow maize to support the government's One District, One Factory agenda.
One district, one factory.
Some students who participated in the training expressed appreciation.
When we came here, we realized that they have a license and they are actually going according to the rules and regulations by the Minerals Commission.
Practically, I'm seeing all the things that we've been taught back at school, and I'm very glad.
We saw pictures of this, videos of this, but we didn't actually know how big and how they actually work. This has really impacted on us.
On the other hand, organizers of the program are hopeful that the practical training offered the students will instill in them the ingredients to undertake mining in a professional manner once they are deployed in the field after school.
In the western region, a bridge has been constructed over River Nyele at Idubrim in the Elembele district to facilitate the movement of goods and people. The project was initiated by the Member of Parliament for the area, Mr. Emmanuel Amakofibua, with support from the District Assembly and Department of Feeder Roads. Idubrim is a farming community in the Elembele district of the western region. The inhabitants mainly engage in food and cash crop cultivation, such as cocoa. However, the farmers are unable to sell their farm produce due to lack of access to market centers. This has been occasioned by their inability to cross River Nyele, which has no bridge. Those who are brave enough carry their load and wait through to go and sell what they could for subsistence. The situation becomes worse when it rains as the community is completely cut off from the rest of the district. Promises made by governments over the years to construct a bridge were not fulfilled. The Member of Parliament for the area, Mr. Emmanuel Amakofibua, who promised to construct the bridge during the campaign last year, secured funds from the SRI MS Limited for the project. Two residents of the community, Mr. Lazarus Kofi and Mrs. Vida Efra, shared their joy with GBC24.
Over 20 years in it.
For over 20 years, we used this dusty and bushy road.
God bless Amakofibua for constructing the road for us.
The coordinating director of the Elembele District Assembly, Mr. Innocent Haliga, said the Assembly is always ready to collaborate with all stakeholders for the development of the district. The regional feeder roads engineer, Mr. Joseph Mieza, cautioned the people against removing the bolts and nuts on the bridge, as well as other activities which might affect the lifespan of the bridge. The chief of Ngoflo and overlord of Edubrim, Nana Kwesi Kutua, said the people can now heave a sigh of relief as one of their greatest burden have been removed. The local content and community relations officer of SRI AMS Limited, Ms. Lydia Edu Alomatu, said the company will continue to make contributions to impact the lives of the people. The MP for Elembele, Mr. Emmanuel Amabua, said the construction of the bridge should transform the lives of the people for the better.
We have worked to make sure we bring modern clinic thanks to ENI. So because of that, people who were dying for small illnesses do not have to die. And we crown it all today by this bridge. You will see it as a small, just an ordinary bridge, but it's a transformational tool.
The Commonwealth Hall of the University of Ghana, Legon, has launched its 60th anniversary celebrations in Accra. The celebration runs on the theme 60 Years of Vandalism, the next chapter. The Director General of GBC, Dr. Kwame Ekufu-Anokfinto, also a vandal, said the period was a time to reflect, energize and encourage one another.
Commonwealth Hall has been part of the larger history of university education in the country and to a large extent linked to some of the major landmarks in Ghana. It also represents the defining moment in the quest for freedom and democracy for centuries of slavery and colonialism. 60 years on, the hall has grown into a community with common beliefs, ideas and interests which have shaped the distinctive character of the present, past and the future generation. Launching the 60th anniversary, the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Dr. Kwame Ekufu-Anokfinto, said it is necessary for the vandals to change their mindsets and educate the public on what they stand for. In a lecture, Professor Philip Bonzi Simpson addressed critical questions thrown up by the theme of the event, which is rebranding and culture.
I have been to a few schools and places before I came to Commonwealth Hall. And I have been to a few more schools and a few more places after I came to Commonwealth Hall. Note, I didn't say after I came to the University of Ghana. I said Commonwealth Hall. Because Commonwealth Hall is a university in its own right. And it is a place whose experience, if you haven't passed through, you don't know how it feels. And when you have passed through, there is nothing that can take Commonwealth Hall out of you. Vivens!
Old vandals were urged to engage more in humanitarian activities to help change the perception people have about the hall and help in rebranding the Commonwealth Hall.
A book, Tete Kwashi, A Star to Follow, has been launched in Accra. The book chronicles how Tete Kwashi brought the first cocoa beans to the then Gold Coast in 1876 and started a farm. The story is told from a different perspective by a descendant of Tete Kwashi, Dr. Ni Amudako. From one generation to the other, history and oral tradition has told the story of Tete Kwashi and cocoa from different perspectives. Dr. Ni Amudako, a descendant of Tete Kwashi, has collated information from family sources to tell the story. Tete Kwashi, A Star to Follow. The 52-page book explains how the man switched careers from a blacksmith to an apprenticed farmer in Fernando Po to learn the techniques of cultivating cocoa. Having acquired the skills for 6 years, Tete Kwashi, with permission from his superiors, brought some of the beans to the then Gold Coast in 1876 as evidence of his long stay away from home. His first trial of planting the beans at Osu for 3 years failed. He then moved the farm to Ikrapimam, which yielded positive results of which the country enjoys the benefits to date. The book captures some of Tetekwashi's personal attributes, such as obedience, observant, divine intuition, and determination. Renowned Ghanaian poet, Professor Atukwe Okai, believes the time to correct the inaccurate information about Tetekwashi is now.
We are talking about progress, development, moving forward. Moving forward from where? Moving forward from whom? We cannot succeed in fruitfully moving forward if we do not know those who built our past to the extent that they determine our present time. In our schools, are we having books about Tetekwashi?
The former Deputy Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Madame Jifagomashi, launched the book. 2 other books, Afrimocracy, Democracy Brewed in the African Port, and Ghana Munti Yansi is Coming, were launched.
The basic word is to federalize and take core service from national government. There is no civilized country in the world. If you go to the G7, not one of them have a system we have, and there's a reason for that. The 20 poorest nations in the world are all unitary.
The first copies were sold for 10,000 Ghana cedis. You're watching News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. Time to take a break. We'll be back shortly with a business segment. Do stay with us.
Good evening. My name is Maurice. This news brought to you by NIB and Ernest Chemist. Now, government is to introduce a national industrial revitalization program targeted at assisting companies affected severely by the energy crisis that hit the country. The Minister for Business Development, Mr. Mohamed Awal, who made this known at the launch of a Kenya-Ghana Trade Expo in Accra, said that government will, by July this year, start the training of some 1,000 graduates who will then train SMEs in business development.
We've seen that most businesses where the SMEs are grappling with doing business plans, and that also affects them in getting access to credit. So beginning hopefully July, August this year, we are training over 1,000 school graduates, equip them with entrepreneurial skills so that they go around and educate businesses, help them so that SMEs can. If you look at the SME factor, about 75% of them or 80% do not survive after 3 years, all because they lack access to capital. They lack skills. As a ministry, we intend to plug this loophole by training these young people to go out and help. When they do that, we also want to help to ensure that at least startups have tax exemption. For 1 year, they will not pay taxes. Once they don't pay the taxes, they can plow back this money and expand their businesses. We need to make young businesses grow.
Let's do banking now. Customers and prospective ones of Stanbic Bank who put in an initial deposit of 500 Ghana cedis into their account stand a chance of winning an ultimate cash prize of 100,000 Ghana cedis. The promo, which has been captioned Save to Gain, is one of the strategies deployed by Stanbic to promote the culture of savings.
Stanbic Bank has over the years brought into the market a number of savings and investment products that enables its customers to secure their future. This includes the Stanbic Edu Plan, which allows parents to provide an uninterrupted quality education for their wards up to the highest academic level. Again, the bank has launched a new campaign dubbed Save to Gain, which is designed to inculcate the habit of savings among Ghanaians. The campaign encourages clients and prospective customers to open a pure save account and maintain a minimum balance of 500 Ghana cedis. 4 deposits of the 500 Ghana cedis will earn a customer a money zone coupon to qualify for the 100,000 Ghana cedi draw at the end of the campaign in August this year. The chief executive of Stanbic Bank, Mr. Alhassan Andani, said the campaign will also open a window for customers to have financial security.
Savings is something that is critical to your own financial well-being, and no matter how hard you work, at some stage in your career you will retire and the regular income will not come. What will keep you true is the savings you would have made.
The campaign will also see depositors earning a monthly investment reward of 10,000 Ghana cedis. A Deputy Minister for Finance, Mr. Kweku Kwating, said a good savings culture will go a long way to boost investments and create jobs in the country.
The banks and the financial intermediation institutions would have more money in their hands. You, the person saving, would earn interest on your savings. The businesses and the manufacturers who come to borrow from the banks would open up business opportunities and create jobs for our people.
The head of channels of the Stanbic Bank, Mr. Eugene Okanse, assured prospective customers of fast and reliable banking services.
Account opening process in Stanbic is seamless. We have what we call the tablet account opening, so people can come to office with their tablet. You don't need to make a photocopy. You don't need to give them a passport picture. With their tablet, they take a picture of you. They take a copy of your ID or proof of residential address if required, and then they open the account for you.
The 5 highest depositors in the campaign will receive commemorative gold coins, while several others will also receive consolation prizes worth over 40,000 Ghana cedis. Cash prizes will be paid immediately into the accounts of the winners.
We stay in banking because issuing Visa cards by banks to customers takes about 10 working days, but now Universal Merchant Bank says it can do that within minutes. The bank has 4 Visa cards on its bouquet that can be used on UMB ATMs, other Visa branded ATMs and point-of-sale terminals nationwide.
Opened on March 15, 1972, Universal Merchant Bank (UMB) is a full-service financial institution specialized in customized banking products and services. The bank currently has 31 UMB Center for businesses. With a current portfolio of 4 Visa cards, the bank has UMB Visa Classic card, which gives access to funds on Visa branded ATMs. The second card is the UMB prepaid card. This offers both customers and non-customers the opportunity to preload cash onto the card for online shopping. The UMB Visa Business Card also enables business owners to control how, when and where payments are authorized for their employee cards. The 4th type of card is the UMB Visa Platinum Card, which gives high exclusive benefits to card holders. The Chief Executive Officer of the bank, Mr. John Ewua, said the bank's priority is to invest in areas that bring convenience and speed to its customers.
We want to be at the pinnacle of convenience. We want to meet the customers at the point when the customer needs us most. So the customer at the point of applying for a card, the end result is not the application. The end result is having a card. So by bringing the beginning and the end results together, what we have sought to do right now is to provide an extra convenience to our customers, and therefore that is exactly what this is seeking to do.
The head of card operations of UMB, Mrs. Irene Ejebisa, said the Visa cards come with the most advanced chip and PIN technology with enhanced security for card holders.
Data authentication is dynamic. DDA, that means that before a transaction takes place, there has to be a combination of certain variables to coincide before it is authorized. This adds on to the PIN and chip security, as mentioned earlier, and takes security to another level. We are happy to say that these cards have also been enrolled and verified by a Visa platform, and this gives the customers an additional layer of security when they are shopping online.
The bank demonstrated how fast and easy the issuance of the instant Visa card is.
The customer has been issued with a card. She has selected her e-pin and she's good to go. Okay. She can do a transaction immediately.
UMB assures all customers and other stakeholders of the bank's commitment to invest in the necessary infrastructure and technology that will ultimately benefit them.
And so the Ghana cedi continues to make gains on the interbank market. The pound is selling at 5 cedis 34 pesos, the US dollar at 4 cedis 16 pesos, and the euro going for 4 cedis 48 pesos. On the international commodities markets, light crude is trading at $50.76 per barrel and cocoa at $1,812 per ton. Gold is going for $1,281.80 an ounce. That was business news brought to you by NIB and NS Chemist. My name is Marius Ogbete.
Welcome back to the news, and this is the health segment brought to you by Amvita and FPAC. The World Health Organization estimates that about 80% of the African population continues to rely on medicines derived from herbs. In Ghana, a sizable number, especially those in rural areas, do not have access to orthodox medicines, hence they resort to the use of herbs. However, not all herbal medicine vendors have acquired license to peddle their trade.
Research shows that herbal medicine is an ancient medical system that has provided the world's population with safe, effective and affordable medicines for at least some 60,000 years. Globally, there is now a general recognition that medicines once described as primitive could be mankind's savior. For over 2 decades, the views on herbs as medicines shifted from that of witch's brew to being major medicine. In Ghana, efforts to promote traditional medicine started with the creation of the Ghana Psychic and Traditional Healers Association. This association upholds, promotes and protects the best in psychic and traditional healing in Ghana. The traditional medicine peddlers believe their herbs have cured some diseases that orthodox medicines could not cure. Most traditional medicines are sold on the open markets. The red one is known as Aigbe blood tonic for treating anemia. This one treats candidiasis and ulcers. Those in the bottle are bitters. This is the monitor lizard used to ward off evil. The registrar of the Traditional Medicine Practice Council, Togbe Yaka, said any herbal medicine sold on the markets without a license is unlawful.
If you meet any foreigner who sells herbal medicines or maybe assess himself as to a service provider regarding traditional and authentic medicine clearly offends the law. And all such persons are required to acquire the license from the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. So if you went to the market and saw women selling medicines, supposedly raw materials only, they are also supposed to be licensed before they can apply themselves to that trade.
Mr. Yao Kwatin from the Herbal Department of the Food and Drugs Authority says their job is to test the herbal concoctions for efficacy.
The moment you manufacture, then we want to look at how did you combine the leaves and the herbs. Do you understand the preservation of the product? Do you know how long your product will stay on the shelf? Have you given your patients enough information by way of a label? Okay. When we are satisfied that all these things are there, we also are interested in how do you manufacture at your premises, the hygiene, the knowledge of the combinations, the preservations.
Their mandate does not extend to the safety of unprocessed herbal products meant for consumption. Most peddlers our cameras captured had no licenses backing their business. Our camera captured a peddler of Malian descent selling traditional medicine. He was so confident about his wares because he had a document on his table he claimed was his operating license.
And that's it for the health segment of the news, brought to you by Yamvita and FPAC. We'll take another break. We'll be back shortly with the international segment. Just stay with us.
New Black Stars, Mr. James BC appears to return from his days in Sudan. He is expected to start work as Black Stars coach on the 1st of May this year. Mr. Apia, a former Khartoum SC coach, has agreed to a 2-year contract on his reappointment. Mr. James BC Apia is expected to get to work as soon as possible, as he has 5 games to map out a winsome strategy in the next 3 months. His first assignment will be in June when he plays Ethiopia in the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Then 2 international friendlies against Mexico and USA on the 28th of June and July 1. Apia will also assemble a home base side to face Burkina Faso in the CHAN 2018 final round qualifier over 2 legs. This is his initial reaction on arrival.
I never expected so many people here at the airport. I really appreciate, everyone coming here. I mean, you spent your time and money and everything to come and welcome me. I really appreciate that. I always believe, the voice of the people is always the voice of God. I'll take this opportunity to thank the President of the nation, the FA, and every Ghanaian, up to the last baby born today, for giving me the second chance, to coach the national team. I will do the best that I can, but I can never do it without your help. I will need the support and prayers of every Ghanaian, to make our Blasters, proud and big again. Always great to be back home. This is my motherland, and every Ghanaian would love to be at home and make sure he does what he can to help his nation. Coach, I'm wondering if I always had, this belief that, you can never say never, especially when it comes to coaching. You always have to make your mind open, and when the opportunity comes, you take it.
Thank you very much.
In Accra, the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Mr. Benunu Mensah, has directed all sports federations in the country to use the GOC conference room for their meetings and press conferences. Thus, he is seen as a cost-cutting measure for the federations, as they had to pay before using the media center of the Accra Sports Stadium for such functions.
Thank you.
The Ghana Olympic Committee on Friday, April 21, received some support from two institutions. The first was from Mobility International, who donated 22 new swivel chairs and 30 conference chairs worth 10,000 Ghana cedis for use in the GOC conference room.
We are happy to contribute to not just the Olympic Committee, but also to the Ghanaian economy in general. So, thank you very much.
You know, the stadium, federations need to pay to use the stadium. We're making this place available for all the national federations, all the press conferences, and everything that we do concerning sports press conferences. This is where we're making available for everybody to use.
The president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Mr. Benunu Mensah, also presented a brand new motorbike worth 3,600 Ghana cedis to his outfit secretariat. The motorbike was received on behalf of the GOC by the treasurer, Mr. Frederick Otulati. According to the president, the donation was aimed at facilitating movement and running of administrative duties of the GOC's messenger on daily basis. Next were officials from Trillium Industries Limited, producers of fresh energy drink and phenomenal water. They presented some of their products to the GOC office. According to the beverage giant, they are in line to becoming the official beverage sponsor of the GOC.
We are proudly planning to support the Olympics with our brother Mr. Ben. And as he mentioned to you guys, now we are into a big discussion about the amount of the sponsorship package. The reason we are doing this, because we all know the importance of sport and how our Ghanaian people, they reacted when we supported them. Actually, they were so appreciated and grateful, and we felt we are appreciated. So thank you so much. And that's why we want to continue supporting.
In France, world number 2 Novak Djokovic and Spanish ace Rafael Nadal both picked up massive wins to qualify to the quarterfinals of the 2017 Monte Carlo Rolex Masters. That's all for sports.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Art segment. Is brought to you by Cowbell. My name is Valerie Danso. The Ghana Education Service and the Greater Accra Regional Cultural Federation were joint organizers of this year's Regional Basic Schools Festival of Arts in Tema. The latest is the 15th edition. It is to revive Ghanaian culture and inculcate traditions in the Ghanaian child.
The teaching and study of the Ghanaian language, culture and tradition have been identified as key in the formative years of the Ghanaian child. It has therefore become important to raise their interest in local language and culture. It comes at a time when many have expressed concern about distortions in the socio-cultural setting as a result of foreign culture. The Ghana Education Service has been supported by the Greater Accra Regional Cultural Federation to organize this year's Festival of Arts for basic schools in the Greater Accra region. 16 schools from Ga West, Ga East and Ga South participated in the event. Other schools from Tema, Ashaiman, Ningo Prampram, Bung Katamanso District, Shai Osudoku, Adentan and Accra Central also took part in the annual event. The school children performed poetry recitals, arts, drawing, cooking and sewing, among others, to portray Ghanaian traditions and culture. A lecturer at the Institute of African Studies of the University of Ghana, Legon, Mr. Moses Dote, expressed worry about how Ghanaian indigenous culture is being westernized to the detriment of time-tested Ghanaian traditions. He therefore called for stakeholders in the educational sector to give local content to training modules in the early stages of the Ghanaian child to ensure their total development.
Let culture constitute the content of education as well as to so-called development. Culture, as we simply know, the way and life of a people, representing who we are and what we hope to be. These reduced in course modules, let it constitute the content of education. That way, we are sure that the category of people we are calling our future leaders, which these ones are well educated to take their place tomorrow.
The Greater Accra Regional Director of the GES, Dr. Peter Atefa, bemoaned that teachers who are key stakeholders in teaching and local languages in schools are showing lackadaisical attitude towards the teaching of local languages.
Teachers go in to study other subject areas, leaving the cultures and traditions of the people. Even those who go into the universities to study for the Ghanaian languages, when they come back, some of them feel shy teaching the Ghanaian language. This is a fact on the ground.
It is something done to encourage the children to learn about their culture and to participate in their culture so that they can appreciate what their culture teaches them.
Adesa Festival, which literally means Storytelling Festival, is expected to bring together storytellers, poets and musicians. The launch of this festival comes off this Saturday at the Jamestown Community Center. An author, Nanaya Yeboah, was a guest on our Showbiz segment. In order to keep our Ghanaian stories and folk tales alive, a storytelling festival has been planned, dubbed Adesa Festival. Nanaya Yeboah, an author who is part of the organizers, explained what inspired the concept.
Ghana is home to, for instance, Anansesem. Anansesem is not only in Ghana, but in Jamaica as well. They call it Branansi. Branansi,
Okay.
Yes. And Jamaicans also hold similar roots and connections to Ghana.
Yeah.
However, I can't find Anansi books, Anansi storytellers out there where I am from. And even when come to Ghana after by the fireside,
There's
it's
nothing,
like there's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And I see that we have this beautiful culture that we're not exploring, we're not teaching our children, but our children are taking on different other people's culture.
She shared with us some personalities expected to be at the launch.
At the festival, we'll have Dr. Mauli Ejay to tell us a brief history about Ghanaian storytelling during the festival. And I'll be doing Anansesem there as well. And we did contact artists such as Nana Asase, Oswald,
yes,
he's around here somewhere, yes. Dr. Agambila and Brenda. And then with the cultural performances, we'll have xylophone flute performance by Ansong the flutist.
The main event will take place next year. Artists, storytellers and poets from Jamaica and Canada will take part in the Adesa Festival. That's all in this segment and was brought to you kind courtesy Cowbell.
Thanks for watching the update. Good evening. Have a good weekend.
And thanks for joining in for the news. Have a lovely evening.
We're back at 10 o'clock with the late edition. Have a good evening.